Welcome to another episode of Let Me Plan Your Life. I've got a new guest. Why don't you introduce yourself?
Hi, I'm Diane Lemoyne.
All right, so Diane, are you ready for your future?
I think so.
Well, let's see how it goes. By the year 2028, Betsy DeVos will have changed the face of education. Thanks to her efforts in the classroom, many students will end up in Ivy League type elite schools, and they will be in a societal safety net from the rest of the children who have gone feral.
Okay.
Now, since all of the public schools will have shut down by this point, you will most likely find work as some sort of homeschool private tutor for a family in Calabasas.
Sounds good.
Yes, it does, until 2038, because by that point, they will have gone bankrupt. Turns out, lots of people depend on government programs, whether or not they realize it.
Okay.
By that point, you will retreat to the hills. Without dependable water, electricity, or roads, communities will become smaller and more isolated. Which brings us to 2048. An heir to one of the few billionaires still left in existence will run out of gas right in front of your shack on your hill.
Nice.
All of the people in the neighborhood will say, "Don't go up the hill. There's a crazy lady who lives there." And they'll tell him the rumors that have spread about how you've adopted all of the feral children and all the stray dogs and cats, and you've started your own organized crime syndicate.
You had me into crime, but yeah, that does sound sort of like me.
They are so well trained that they bring you gifts. And even though the children no longer speak English, you do have a shorthand of sorts with them. When he actually does come to meet you, it'll turn out that these were just rumors. And he will threaten to sue you, and then your roof will collapse on top of him. So, what do you think?
Wow. You had me until I killed the billionaire.
Would you like to focus on this here?
Yeah, let's look at this year.
Okay, so this year you told me that you would like to work with special needs children for the Las Virgenes School District or LA Unified, right?
Yes.
What motivated you to want to work with the special needs kids as opposed to anything else?
I babysit a little boy who is hard of hearing, and which is why I was taking ASL. And his physical therapist would come and I'd work with her, and she was really encouraging, said I was good at it, I'm good with kids, I've worked with kids for years. And I really enjoyed learning ASL, I enjoy working with kids, and it was kind of a nice fit.
Okay, so it's probably going to be about $200 in processing fees, probably $600 for tuition, at least $300 for textbooks. According to both school websites, you are already qualified as a paraprofessional special ed trainee.
Oh, great.
There are a couple criteria gaps for LA Unified that you will need to fill, but by filling them, you will also make yourself much more desirable to Las Virgenes. So you need 12 semester units. Since you've already taken ASL recently, that should count for 3 of your units, so you really only had to take 3 more classes.
Okay.
Once you have a great resume put together, once you've got your references, everything, you can apply to both school districts. For both of them, you could also start volunteering while you wait to hear back. You can start incessantly talking to everyone and their mother about what you want to do.
Okay.
Once you've heard from one of the districts, you can start preparing yourself for the interview. They will ask you some hypothetical questions, so you can just prepare yourself, if this happens in a room, what would I do?
Probably tying the kid to a chair is not a good answer.
I wouldn't recommend it.
Okay.
There are 1 or 2 things you can do to speed up the process. They are going to need a physical at some point, so you can take that out of the way.
Okay.
And they will need to see a TB test at one point, so do that when you're doing your physical. There's a really good chance that you'll either work for a week in May or something, and then school year ends in June.
Right.
The other possibility is that you won't get to start until August. So, for your summer break, you can carve out a little bit of time to take a couple of classes at Pierce or one of the other colleges around, and you can brush up on your ASL skills during that time. So, what do you think?
That I like.
Okay.
Are there any billionaires in this year's future?
I'm sure there are.
This looks exciting.
Great, I'm excited for your future too.
Yes. And when I'm up in the hills with the feral cats and feral children, you're always welcome.
Thanks again for joining us on Let Me Plan Your Life. If you would like to be on the next episode, hit the link below. If you would like to follow us on social media, we'll have really cool behind the scenes content. And make sure you hit the like and subscribe buttons up top. Thanks a lot and see you next time.